Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome back to another episode of the New York Mets Legends Fantasy Draft Series here on MLB The Show 23. We are in the postseason of season number 1. First time we've made it here in the franchise. And if you missed the last episode, make sure you go back and watch it. We went over the rest of the season. Obviously, we simulated the rest of the calendar year, which was just the month of September, excuse me. And we did all the awards, we did all the stats, all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to check that out, if you're curious about that, go back and watch the most recent episode other than this one, and you can see all that stuff at the end of the video. Excuse me, I got the hiccups today. Today's episode is all about the postseason. And I told you guys at the end of that video how the postseason works, but I will go through it once again just to refresh your guys' memory. So if you're not familiar with how the postseason works here on the World of Juice family of networks, what we do is we simulate the entire postseason. If we need to jump in a quick manage situation, if we're losing a game that could be threatening a sweep not in our favor, or we could get eliminated. We don't want to do that, obviously, so we will quick manage, jump in, try to help it. If we can't, obviously, then we can't do it and we lose, and then we move on to the offseason. That's just how things work. You can't win them all. But if we are in a winning situation where we're maybe on top of a sweep, then we'll keep going, and yada, 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 so on, so on. So basically, we won't jump in until we absolutely have to, until we get to the World Series Game 7. If we get to the World Series in this episode and we don't need a Game 7, preferably we're winning by 3 games and we go out and sweep them. That's possible. I hope that's the case. And if we get to that situation, then we'll simulate the entire postseason up until the World Series and into the World Series, and we'll find out who wins it. Hopefully it's us in this episode. But if we need to go to a Game 7, if Game 7 is necessary, then we will simulate up to Game 6, and we will have Game 7 as a standalone video next episode, and then the postseason will be after that. So that's how postseasons normally work. It'll be more understandable and more easy to understand when we actually get into it, when we play the Pirates here. It's not super hard to understand. It's very simple. So Game 7, if we need it, is by itself, standalone video. But if not, if we win the World Series in this episode, perfect, awesome, that'd be great. Then we go to the postseason, we go to the off season. This is what the lineup will look like as we head into the postseason. We've got Derek Jeter, Mike Trout, Griffey Jr., Cabrera, Stanton, Howard, Sammy Sosa, Jorge Posada, Ian Kinsler. The same exact lineup that we've had the entire year, except for obviously Ryan Howard because we traded for him at the deadline. Miguel Cabrera coming off of a very good season. 44 home runs, hit 342. Very solid season from Miguel Cabrera. One of the best seasons, maybe, of his very old career. So he's coming off a great year, and hopefully he can take that into the postseason and do very well. Here is a look at the postseason bracket, both on the AL side of things and on the NL side. Obviously, we are on the National League side of things. We are taking on the Pirates, who beat the Braves in the wild card game 2-0. So they play us. We were the 1 seed in the National League. The Tampa Bay Rays were the 1 seed over in the American League. And it doesn't look like the Yankees made it. Even in a Legends simulation draft, the Yankees don't make the playoffs. Very interesting. Astros don't even make it. Usually, even with fantasy drafts and Legends involved, the Yankees and Astros always tend to make the playoffs. The Dodgers didn't even make it over on the National League side, which is a big change because the Dodgers literally always win the World Series in like the first season of a normal MLB The Show franchise. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of spice, a little bit of change here. Greg Maddux will get the nod in Game 1 against the Pirates in the NLDS. Let's start simulating here. I hope you guys are excited. If you are, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's see if we can move forward past the NLDS here. Game 1 is a victory 13-7. You love to see it. Kurt Schilling versus Christy Mathewson is a victory 2-1. So not as big of a score, but we do get a nice, awesome W. Felix Hernandez versus Trevor Bauer in Game 3 is a victory, and the Mets have won the NLDS and will be taking on the Rockies or the Brewers in the NLCS. All right, let's simulate up and figure out who we're playing. We're taking on the Brewers. They beat the Rockies, and we are taking on the Brewers for a chance to go to the World Series. Let's take a look back at some of these games in the NLDS and see who dominated for us. So we had Griffey with some interesting stuff. So home runs by Derek Jeter, Ken Griffey Jr., Miguel Cabrera, Ryan Howard, and Sammy Sosa. We scored 7 in the 5th. RBIs by a bunch of different people, obviously. A double by Sosa and Posada, and double plays by Jeter and Howard. Greg Maddux went 7 innings, allowed 5 earned runs, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, got shelled with a 6.42 ERA. Sean Doolittle also got shelled, but luckily we were able to just have too many runs already on the board, and they couldn't really come back. They tried. They gave it a good effort, but they could not come back with that 7 bomb in the 5th. A lot of home runs from the boys in Game 1. Now, in the second game, we only scored 2 runs. How did we get that done here? So we've got Mike Trout getting a double, and then Jeter and Posada got RBIs. Kinsler stole a base. Schilling went 7 1/3. 5 hits, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. Kurt Schilling absolutely destroyed the Pirates in Game 2. Doolittle gets the win, though. And then in Game 3, we scored 6 runs. And we had doubles from Jeter, Trout, Griffey, Posada, and Kinsler. A triple from Trout and Kinsler. And then 2 RBIs from Jeter, Trout, Cabrera, and Kinsler both got 1. Jeter had a fielding error, which is very unlike Jeter, but whatever. Posada also stole a base. That's not true. I guess it is. Obviously, it says it right there, but that cannot be possible. And Felix Hernandez got the win. He went 8 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 2.25 ERA. Hoffman got the save, and we get the job done in 3 games against the Pirates. Now we're taking on the Brewers at Spencer Strider versus Jim Palmer. Who won in the ALCS? It is going to be the Blue Jays versus the White Sox. So the number 1 seeded Rays fell to the wild card 4 seed Blue Jays. Very interesting. The White Sox beat the Twins. So the top seeds actually go down in the AL. And the top seeded Rockies, who were the 2 seed, go down as well to the Brewers. So it's not a good year for top seeds in the postseason this year. But we're the highest seed. It's a 4 and a 6 over in the AL, and it's a 1 versus a, what are they, the 3. So it's a 1 versus 3 in the NL. So it's a little bit closer of a matchup. But let's start simulating. Spencer Strider on the mound for us against Jim Palmer. Game 1, Stanton gets a hand injury, a bruised hand. Let's bench him because he's only playing DH, and we win 8-5. That's huge. And now we got Kershaw going up against Mark Mulder. We take Game 2 as well. Greg Maddux versus Roy Halladay. Take Game 3, Stanton's back. Game 4, finally we lose. We had not lost so far this postseason. We finally lose. We've got shelled too, 8-0. All right, now we've got Game 5, and we take the win. We are headed to the World Series, and we'll be taking on the Blue Jays or the White Sox. Let's find out who we're playing. It is the White Sox. They are the 6th seed. And they beat the Blue Jays in 6 games to go to the World Series. Mets and White Sox in the World Series. But let's take a look back at some of these games in the Brewers series and just see what kind of went down here. So it looks like we had a couple good innings. The 3rd and the 5th were our scoring innings. Doubles from Cabrera, 2 from Howard and Kinsler had 1. Kinsler hit a home run. Stanton got an RBI. Howard got 2. So it must have been a 2-run double that Ryan Howard had in the 4th or the 3rd or the 5th. Sosa, Posada, Kinsler had 3 RBIs with his doubles or with his double, and then Sosa had a sac fly. Strider went 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. So not a great performance, but luckily our offense just overpowered their offense, and Strider was able to get the W. So that's how Game 1 went. Game 2, we put up 10 runs. And we had home runs from Trout and Griffey, doubles from Ryan Howard's getting a lot of doubles. I didn't think he had the speed to do it, but he's got it. Sosa and Posada. RBIs, 3 from Trout. Was that a 3-run home run? It could have been. We had a huge 5th inning. We scored 8 runs in the 5th inning. It's probably where that 3-run home run came from Trout. Griffey, Cabrera, Alex Gordon. Sosa had 3 RBIs, and Posada had an RBI. And then a sac fly from Miguel Cabrera. Kershaw went 6 innings, allowed 2 runs, and has a 3 ERA. Okay. Sean Doolittle is getting a lot of playtime, and he's getting a little bit rocked, but he's doing okay. He's doing a decent enough job. Then we go to game 3, won 5-2, back at home at Citi Field, and we had doubles from Griffey, Ryan Howard, Sosa, and Posada. RBIs from Cabrera, Gordon, and Posada, and Sosa had 2. Sosa also stole 2 bases. Maddox got his second win of the postseason, going 7 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts with a 4.5 ERA. Sean Doolittle got the hold and has a 5.78 ERA, and Hoffman got his 3rd save of the postseason. Then we went on a little bit of a loss here. The offense did not show up. The bats did not come to play. Posada was the only notable thing with the double. Ryan Howard got caught stealing. I don't know why he was even threatening to steal, but we just didn't have anything going. Schilling went 5 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, but we burned through a lot of bullpen. And Joe Nathan, 54 ERA. That is not good. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so game 4 was a bad showing, but then game 5 we came back with fire in our bellies, and we had a nice game, getting a double from Alex Gordon, a triple from Trout, a home run from both Griffey and Posada, 2 RBIs from Ken Griffey Jr., an RBI from Cabrera, Ryan Howard, and Sammy Sosa, and 2 from Posada. So the home run was probably a 2-run homer for both Griffey and Posada. Miguel Cabrera got hit by a pitch. Sosa had a sac fly, and Posada had grounded into a double play. Trout stole a base. Felix Hernandez got the starts. He went 5 2/3, allowed 4 earned runs. He didn't really play too great. Strasburg then came in for an inning and a third, got the win, which is weird, but whatever. Doolittle gets his 2nd hold, and Hoffman gets his 4th save of the postseason. Trevor Hoffman is kind of killing it. And now we take on the Chicago White Sox. Remember, if needed, if Game 7 is needed, we will play it in the next episode standalone. It'll be on November 4th. Well, in the game, it'll be on November 4th. In real life, I don't know when it'll be. But if we don't, if we sweep them or we take them in 5 or 6, then we will find out who the World Series champion is in this episode. We will win the World Series in this episode. We'll find out who the MVP is of the postseason and of the World Series. We will find out all that stuff in this episode, so let's not waste any more time. Let's simulate Game 1 of the World Series. Spencer Strider versus Jose Fernandez. Rest in peace. And we get the W. Strasburg comes in. He might end up being the biggest player of this entire postseason. Steven Strasburg's got 2 Ws already. He's not even starting. He's just coming out of the bullpen. But we win 6-3 in Game 1 of the World Series. Kershaw's on the mound against Tom Seaver in Game 2, and we lose 2-5 or 5-2. It is a 1-1 series in the World Series. We go to Chicago. Let's take Game 3. We lose 6-1. Greg Maddux gets his first loss. Okay, now things are getting a little bit scary. This is the first time we've been down in a series. We're down 2-1. Schilling on the mound against Fernandez. We lose again. We are in danger of losing the World Series. See, this is where we come into play. We are down 3-1 in the World Series. This is where quick manage situations jump in. So we will quick manage on the road in the World Series, guaranteed rate field, quick counts are on. Hernandez on the mound. This is what we got. It's the lineup we've had the entire postseason and the entire first season. Our career is on the line here. Our season is on the line. If we lose this game, the White Sox win the World Series. We have to stay alive here. Let's jump in and let's try to win a World Series. That's a good start. 2 runs in the first inning, but they get 2 in the bottom half, so they come back and get some runs. That's not great. Come on, King Felix. I need you to dominate here. Be your normal self. He allows 4 in the 5th. All right, Felix. Pitching change. Strasburg's coming in. I think we're going to jump in here with Posada. Let's enter the game, try to get on the board in the top of the 7th, and try to keep our season alive. Posada is at the plate. It is a 2-1 count in Game 5 of the World Series. Down 6-2 is Felix Hernandez going to be the reason why we lose the World Series in Season 1. Look at all the white shirts in the stands. They've got their towels. They are going crazy here in Chicago. They haven't won a World Series since 2005. But obviously, the national media doesn't remember that because they're not the #1 team in Chicago. But I'm going to stare at that one. Obviously, the Mets haven't won a World Series since, what, the 80s, I think? They obviously played in one in 2015, lost to the Royals. Oh, who was, funny enough, the other team that we are using here in MLB Show 23 with our rebuild, but I missed that one. I pulled the PCI down a little bit too much. Derek Jeter. He's the captain for a reason. Can he keep the inning alive? Tom Seaver has gone 109 pitches, 110 pitches. Will that drop? It will not. Inning over. We go bottom 7. White Sox up 6-2. We've got Strasburg in the game, but we are going to warm up some other people. We're going to warm up Kimbrel. And we're going to warm up, I don't even know. We could warm up Doolittle, I guess. He's been pitching in almost every single game of this postseason. Michael Brantley, first man we will face, and he sends that foul territory down the first base line. It will not go fair. Circle change. That's going to be in Kinsler. Nice fielding job. 16 speed. Not going to be even close. I remember when Michael Brantley was like one of the faster players in the entire league back when he was playing for the Guardians. Or I guess they weren't the Guardians at the time he was playing for them. 2-2 count to Bo Bichette, the son of Dante, and he will strike out to Steven Strasburg, who, fun fact, has a World Series. He won a World Series with the Nationals in 2020, if you didn't know. Or 2019, excuse me. Miguel Cabrera gets that one to third, and we get out of the 7th. But we only have the 8th and the 9th. The top of the 8th and top of the 9th. And they're going to keep Tom Seaver in here. He is over 112 pitches, about to be, with 113 right here to Trout. And I screwed it up. We cannot be wasting these opportunities. We don't have any more wiggle room. If we lose this game, it's over for us. It's over for Bozo. The season comes to an end and the White Sox will win the World Series. 1-1 count to Griffey. Down low. That one's got some movement. Can it go over the wall? Ken Griffey Jr. It's gonna be gone. Home run for the kid. In Game 5. Ken Griffey Jr. And I would not be surprised if they pull Tom Seaver after that. That's number 7 for Griffey in the postseason. And it comes at a huge moment in this one. And they do. It's time for Tom Seaver to get some wood, and they bring in Lucas Sims, who has not pitched a ton in the postseason. Maybe that can be used to our advantage. We can take advantage of a inexperienced relief pitcher, but unfortunately Miguel Cabrera has no chance of beating that throw with 6 speed. He's not really known for his running ability. Giancarlo Stanton, 0 for 3 today, looking at a full count with 2 outs in the top of the 8th, down by 3 in Chicago. If we win this game, we go back to New York. And Stanton, I thought I had a home run there, but that is the end of the 8th. We have one more inning. One more inning to tie this game or take the lead, or our season comes to an end. I'm going to keep Strasburg in the game. Vinny Castilla misses the slurve, and I think we'll go sinker here to try to strike him out. And he foul tips. Tip. Let's go back to the circle change. Ooh, he didn't take the bat off the shoulders, but he also does not swing at that one. Fastball, Castilla sends foul. I want to go slurve, but I don't know if Strasburg can locate it correctly. That's going to be a sinker that he sends foul again. I'm going to go slurve. If it's a walk, it's a walk. It's going to be to Sosa in right field. He's underneath it. First out. Okay, Brendan Rodgers is up. He's 0 for 2. I'm not scared of Brendan Rodgers, but I am scared of a 3-2 count, and he's way out in front of that fastball. Strasburg doing a good job. 5th strikeout of the day for Strasburg. Monty Irvin steps up 1 for 4, and he stares at a fastball 1-2. Let's go with the slurve. Get us to the 9th. Strasburg. Ooh, Monty Irvin with a good eye there. We'll go circle change down low. And he hits it. Kinsler fields it at second. Clean grab, clean delivery, and we've got 3 outs to tie this game. or our season comes to an end. They bring in Jason Adam. It's going to be 6, 7, and 8 for the Mets. Whew. Come on, Ryan. Generous call from the home plate umpire. That could have been strike 3, and that would have been a bad start to this one. The Sox fans are outraged, are enthused. Ryan Howard strikes out, and we're down to 2 outs. Sammy Sosa. Come on, Sammy. Sosa strike 3, and the Mets are down to their final out of the World Series. Final out of the season. Jason Adam with the delivery. Posada fouls off the circle change. Very late timing. It's 2-2. The White Sox could be witnessing their first World Series in over a decade. Almost 2 decades. What's going to happen here? Is he going to throw 3 straight circle changes? Posada grounds it past the first baseman into right field, and we survive. Do we pinch run, though? That is a huge question that needs to be answered. Do we pinch run in this situation? I think we might have to. We have backup catcher Gary Sanchez, so I'm not worried about filling the position. 73 speed might be the only thing that we have. We're going to bring in Alex Gordon to pinch run. Ian Kinsler, if he can get us to Jeter, that could be very, very good. Come on, Kinsler. Do your job. Get us. Oh, my God. Ian Kinsler ties the game in the 9th. A 2-run home run. Ian Kinsler. Oh, no, he didn't tie it. He didn't tie it. We were down 3. I thought we were down 2. Ian Kinsler does not tie the game. We were down by 1. I apologize for the missed call, but I thought it was 6-4, not 6-3. Jason Adam delivers a slider, and Kinsler says, "Thank you for the meatball." Oh my God. And they pull Jason Adam for Matt Strom. We are down by 1 with 2 outs in the World Series. A 3-1 count to Jeter, and he's taking his base. The cojones from the captain. 2 doubles for Trout. Oh my God. This is the most intense thing I've ever seen. Get us to the bottom of the 9th. Don't swing at that curveball. That could have been dangerous. Is Matt Strom the guy to get the White Sox the World Series? Don't swing at that. That hits. Hit by pitch. Hit by pitch. Trout takes his base. Michael Trout takes his base. And Ken Griffey Jr., the man that got us a home run in the 7th. He has 2 in this game. If he could hit a 3rd, oh my God. 1-1 count to Ken Griffey Jr. 2 outs. Top of the 9th. Ken, no! Ken Griffey Jr. misses the fastball, and that is the season. The Chicago White Sox are your first year World Series champions. Oh my God, we had it. 2 runners on, and we had the guy that you would want at the plate, Ken Griffey Jr., and I missed the pitch. Oh, that's a tough way to lose. That is a tough, tough way to lose. We just have to watch them celebrate in their home stadium, in their home ballpark. We have to watch them celebrate with 30,000 people. I don't even know how many people are here. That's tough. That is tough. I really thought we tied it, man. When Kinsler hit that 2-run shot, I thought we tied it. That's my bad for thinking that we had 1 extra run that we didn't actually have. Oh, man. And the Chicago White Sox, man, a Cinderella story. They were the 6th seed from wild card to world champs. Congratulations. 2023 world champions. They earned it, man. They beat the better team. We were clearly the better team in this one. And they did it. We were the favorites going in. They did the dang thing. They are world champions for year number 1, but that just gives us a little bit of motivation for season 2 to come back with a vengeance in season 2. We need to come into the offseason. Ryan Howard gets playoff MVP. Larry Doby wins the World Series MVP. But congratulations to Ryan Howard for winning National League postseason MVP. That's pretty cool. It was also Posada and Stanton for National League. But that's a tough way to lose. But like I said, that gives us some more motivation. We need to go out in the offseason. We need to bring in some more heavy artillery, some more firepower, and then we got to come back with a vengeance in season 2. And we need to avenge our loss, win the World Series, and get this series back on track. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. What a wild postseason it was. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.